For thousands of years, humans have looked up at a chaotic, unpredictable sky and tried to build our own sense of order down on the ground. We can see this in the dense stone bas-reliefs carved centuries ago. Every chisel mark locks a fleeting idea into something thick, rigid, and heavy, chosen to survive long after the builders are gone. This architectural model of the Borobudur temple reveals these massive structures are highly deliberate geometric diagrams, physical maps of cosmology. The tiered terraces ascend toward the highest central stupa, mapping a spiritual journey upward toward Mount Meru, the mythical center of the universe. When you view the massive footprint of Borobudur nested deep within the jungle, the scale of that ambition becomes clear. It is a perfectly symmetrical, mandalic blueprint stamped directly onto the earth. Stacking thousands of tons of rock into a strict pattern was our ultimate attempt to force a lasting physical order onto a constantly shifting universe. Today, we rarely carve our maps of eternity out of stone. Instead, we use the weightless, flawless language of mathematics. We write code to generate digital fractals, utilizing them as a modern evolution of the ancient mandala, completely unburdened by physical limits. Notice how a digital fractal multiplies and loops infinitely. You can zoom in on any edge and find the exact same symmetrical layer repeating forever. Generated by code in a vacuum, there is no friction and no room for physical world errors. Fixing our gaze on things that never change and never die creates a distance. By obsessing over these unbreakable, infinite systems, we become strangers to the actual, messy reality of the living present. To find a completely different approach to the cosmos, we have to scale down. We have to look at something small, temporary, and intimately human. These Tibetan Buddhist monks from the Drepung Losaling Monastery map the exact same cosmic order, but their method completely abandons lasting physical structure. Instead of massive stone blocks, their medium is millions of loose, unconnected grains of colored sand. The monks use a traditional metal funnel called a chak-pur. By rubbing a metal rod against the funnel's grated surface, they create an acoustic vibration, coaxing the sand out in a continuous, liquid-like stream. The resulting cosmic map is entirely temporary. The act of creating it is an exercise in extreme, hyper-focused attention to the present second. Construction begins at a single center dot. Over days or even weeks of physical endurance, the design slowly radiates outward. Applying these brightly colored grains into mathematically precise geometry demands supreme mental concentration. The slightest mistake is immediately visible in the pattern. And it is rarely a solitary effort. Multiple monks work side by side on a shared platform, synchronizing their breathing and their movements to build the architecture of the design together. Think about the builders of Borobudur, whose work has withstood centuries of rain. Here, a single sneeze, an accidental brush of a sleeve, or a heavy gust of wind could erase 40 hours of labor in a fraction of a second. The finished artwork is almost irrelevant. The true value lies in the process. The monks slip into a collective, egoless meditative state to coax chaotic grains of sand into absolute harmony. The final result is a staggering display of symmetrical perfection. The complexity and detail of a finished sand mandala rivals any digital fractal. When we see something this beautiful, human instinct demands we preserve it. We want to spray it, frame it behind glass, and protect it forever. Instead, after the final grain is placed, a soft brush violently sweeps through the center of the design, destroying weeks of painstaking work. This act strikes at the core of Buddhist philosophy. It illustrates that nothing material lasts, and that our psychological attachment to physical form is the root cause of our suffering. Destroying the mandala is the ultimate demonstration of mastery. By erasing their own masterpiece, the monks prove they have overcome the human impulse to possess beauty. The swept sand is ritualistically gathered up into an urn. All the brilliant reds, blues, and yellows mix together, erasing the cosmic map into a single pile of gray dust. The monks then form a procession, carrying the urn away from the quiet, controlled environment of the monastery and out into the unpredictable elements of the natural world. At a nearby river, they perform the final act of physical release. The sand pours into the fast-moving water and instantly disperses into the current. The geometry is gone, but the intention remains. The monks believe the rushing water carries the healing energy and the blessing of the mandala out to the oceans, and eventually to the rest of the planet. We spend so much energy trying to outlast the clock, but maybe eternity is never found in unbreakable stone or infinite code. Maybe it is found in the graceful acceptance of life's beautiful, fleeting impermanence.